Budweiser.
What's up?
Yeah. What up?
I don't want to be a beer.
It's okay.
I don't want to be a beer snob, but I really don't understand how people make this their primary beverage.
I mean, I guess it's like the price is right. Like all seven. All three of these was like $7.50.
Oh yeah, I guess.
So it's definitely cheap for sure. It's not bad. It's definitely better than Bud Light. I can't drink Bud Light at all.
Piss water.
Yeah, it's awful. What's up, Laura? We got like 10 people here. It says Natasha, Lauren, Brittany, Courtney, Darren, Laura, Natasha, Rena, Summer. Full house today. Everyone is here.
Christina.
For Dahmer. What's up, Christina?
A couple crazy announcements.
Yeah, what's going on with this Dahmer doll?
I have a Dahmer doll here. He's so cute.
Oh, look, there's your little gravestones there.
I know.
It's weird to say it's cute, but it is cute.
Oh, pipe cleaners for arms.
So we're going to start giving away. So I said bi-weekly on the blog.
I saw your new little layout on the...
But then I realized bi-weekly is like twice a week.
No, bi-weekly is every other week.
Oh, that's what I meant then.
Yes.
Okay, so I removed it. Yeah, every other week. I was like twice a week. Fuck.
No.
Okay. You saw what?
I saw like the thing about it on the...
Yeah. So this is the first thing we're giving away. This is going to be for Supremos. Now, we'll talk about this in the Supremo only episode, so we don't bog this down here. But we can't do a random drawing for Supremos. If you're
You cannot do raffles on Patreon.
Yeah. So if you're a part of any tier, the $3 or the $10 or the $5 tier, no matter what, talkmore.com/join, you can participate in getting these cool items. I got some really cool stuff.
In your little weekly adventures?
Yeah. So this is really cool. The next thing I'm giving away is really rare and really cool as well. It's also Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, if you guys want to win that shit, you got to be a supporter, which I think everyone on here is.
Almost, I think. But so we can't. So it has to. We have to either select a winner, or you have to select a winner, like, best something or whatever.
Because if
it
not,
can't
it's
be
gambling.
random. Yes.
Which I get, but
I get that they want to make sure they're protecting themselves.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a new Taco Supremo to welcome and thank for joining. Erica, thank you.
Yay, Erica.
Thank you for joining. And today's surprise shot is for Eric, not Erica. Eric. Is Brittany on here? I don't know if this is the same Brittany, so I apologize. But, Brittany, I'm just not even sure we're going to be able to take that shot. I feel like I can't say it's a surprise, but I'm just going to say, Brittany, if you're listening, do you want us to throw up while we're taking the shot, or...
Surprise shots, surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my God.
It burns.
What the fuck?
Straight rubbing alcohol.
What the fuck? I'm done.
I think I'm going to vomit. First of all, why? I think I'm going to vomit.
What the fuck was that, dude? Who requested that shit?
That was Eric.
What the fuck is it? Tell us what it is. What the fuck?
Oof.
What the fuck is it?
I just need to swallow something else.
Oh, God. Dude,
That was called the Golden Grain Shot, which was basically like Everclear.
It was Everclear, but it had fucking texture to it.
It didn't.
Yeah, it did, man.
That's just your throw up coming up.
What the fuck?
Oh, no.
No more surprise shots for 2 weeks. Done. No more fucking requests for 2 weeks. Y'all are on probation. This is fucked.
Yeah, Brittany, I think you need to pick another request because that wasn't even yours.
Fucked, man. Y'all are on probation. 2 week probation. Or 1 week. No more requests next week.
You guys know I never react to those, but like.
Fuck, that was bad.
I feel like I need a food chaser after that.
I need to eat something.
That was the worst shot I have ever taken in my life.
Oh my God. Food chaser.
And I was freaking in the Army for 10 years. Airborne infantry.
Goldfish.
Strip
They're
clubs
far
all
superior
the
than
time.
regular goldfish.
Drunken nights. Showing up at formation blasted still. And I'm telling you, that right there was the worst shot I've ever taken. That was terrible, man. Oh. Dude, that was the worst.
190 proof.
That was the worst shot I've ever taken. It was.
Oh, my throat hurts. Honestly,
there was texture in it. Did you taste that?
I didn't know what I tasted. I just know that I didn't like it. It tasted literally like rubbing alcohol.
Oh my God. So tonight we are doing Jeffrey Dahmer. If you guys don't mind, so we are doing 2 episodes, one for the public. That's all you lovely, lovely people out there on YouTube. And we're also doing one for our supporters, our Supremos, and that one's going to be right after this. I have some Polaroid pictures I want to show you guys. Anyway, keep in mind that since this is YouTube public, I can't put too much bad things on there. But we'll say, damn, I'm already fucking drunk from that shit.
Maybe it's because it was almost 200% alcohol.
Holy fuck. Anyway, so if you want to join us for that, talkmore.com/join, become our new Supremo. So you can go there, talkmore.com/join. If you want to hit the second episode, they'll both be on iTunes next week, one Tuesday, one Thursday. I release them at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're new here, we record these on live stream every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next week is going to be a little different, either Friday or Saturday, because Jen is not going to be here. Again, this is Talking Murder Me Podcast. My name is John, and we are doing the story of Jeffrey Dahmer. If you guys don't mind, I want to do this episode. I want to take my time with it. I want to slow roast it, if you will. For tonight's
we finally have somebody that gave us a pick. Friday night, Courtney says.
All right,
Thank
Friday
you.
night we'll be there. Friday, what time, Jen?
I can be here by 5:30 realistically, so probably why don't we say 6 or 6:30 for their stream?
Have dinner and then record?
Or maybe we'll say 7. Eat first, then record?
Yeah.
So 7 o'clock on Friday? Is that good?
No, we're just going to be doing more Dahmer. Like I said, I'm going to take my time with this. It's not going to be this is episode 300 and whatever it is, part 1, part 2. No, motherfucker. I want to get all up in there, you know? I want to get all up in Doms.
Oh.
So for this episode, if you've seen my community post on YouTube, we are going inside Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment. The next episode, we're really going to get into his childhood, and we're going to talk about the first time. This guy's real fucked, I'm just going to say. So we're going to really try to break down his psychology through his childhood. This is the best way I can think of to do this story. We're actually going to the day he was arrested for good tonight, and we're going to look inside of his apartment. We're going to see all the beautiful things in his apartment.
I don't know if the meme is out there, but since you have this meme of him being a Carl's Jr. sponsor with this fake quote, can we also say that he can be an Arby's sponsor? We have the meats.
It seems the only thing I've ever had from Arby's is their fries.
The curly fries are really good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't
never
know why.
had Carl's Jr. before.
A few weeks ago, I had a hankering for Arby's, and I don't know why.
So tonight we're going to Google Earth. For you podcast listeners out there, I'll put photos of the apartment and everything on talkmurder.com. Tonight we're going to July 22nd, 1991. Tonight we're going to Milwaukee. We're going to Kilbourne Avenue and North 25th Street. So we're not going to the apartment yet. We're actually going to where a police car was flagged down by a man running half naked with handcuffs on his wrist. I feel like we've actually done a story before that was in the same premise. A man was running with handcuffs in his wrist. What story was that? I can't remember. It was a serial killer. Was it? What was it? He jumped out of the window.
Ted Bundy.
No, it wasn't Bundy. No,
Bundy jumped out the window.
He did.
I know, but a victim jumps out the window, a male, so it was a homosexual killer, jumps out the window with handcuffs, and he runs down the road. You remember? We've covered...
Bob Berdella?
Maybe it was Bob Berdella. Tonight we're going to July 22nd, 1991, the corner of Kilbourne Avenue and North 25th Street. We're going right in front of the Oxford Apartments. This is 11:30 p.m. at night.
So are those apartment buildings to the left or the right?
Just don't worry about that. We're trying to barrel through this.
The apartment buildings are no longer there.
Well, yeah, I was...
Just hold on.
Oh, right.
Hold on.
Got it. Sorry.
11:30 p.m. Officers Rolf, that's his name, R-O-L-F. Rolf?
Yeah, Rolf, like the guy in Sound of Music who sold out the Von Trapps.
Or Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Or Ralph from The Simpsons. I'm in danger. We should have done that before we took the
here's
shot.
a trivia. What's his dad's name?
Chief Wiggum.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Officers Rolf. What is it?
R-O-L-F?
Yeah.
Rolf.
Officers Rolf.
Yeah.
Officers Mueller and... God, the last guy's got a fucking weird name too.
Spell it.
Robert Ralph. R-A-U... Fuck it.
R-A-U-G-H?
Police. Let's just say
Rolf
fucking
and Rolf?
police.
Rolf and Rolf?
There were two police officers that spotted a man half naked running down the street. This is 11:30 at night. He is an African-American man. He's screaming. He's actually flagging down the officers, and they notice he has his hands, and they notice his hands are cuffed.
Oh.
Hands are cuffed. Handcuffs.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're a police officer, it's like, who is this man? I did not cuff him.
Two officers see an African-American male. He's running, he's screaming. Not only that, he's flagging down the officers. They stop their police car, and he has on his left wrist handcuffs that are dangling.
Oh, so he's not like
He's not fully cuffed.
cuffed.
No.
He's just cuffed.
He's a 32-year-old black man named Tracy Edwards. Now, the cops, they obviously are like, what are you doing? I mean, this is before the time of, I was going to say that Florida thing where everyone's a zombie and shit. This is
Bath salts?
I mean, this is 1991. Drugs are a thing, but it's not like they are now. With this fentanyl shit is getting out of control. Just saying, I wouldn't even suggest buying cocaine right now if you guys are out there. I mean, weed
Just
probably,
now.
because you could actually see.
I wouldn't suggest you buying this illegal drug.
No, I'm just saying for you guys' own health. Weed may be fine because you can see the fentanyl in it, but I'm telling you, people, there was like 2 college kids this weekend died of fentanyl. They were
I saw
just
someone
doing
that
coke.
died. I didn't see personally, but I read that someone died on their way to the hospital in an Uber because of
exactly.
fentanyl.
So don't be doing. Just hold off on the cocaine for a little bit, like until
Or
this
just
shit.
like all illicit drugs.
All right.
I was like, I'm not going to promote that.
This guy tells the officers, some freak just did this to me. And this guy is half naked, ripped.
On the top or the bottom?
He is actually 5'6" and 140 pounds. So
What half is naked?
the Tommy's in his undies.
Oh.
Go to meundies.com/talkmurdertome. No, that's not a thing. Don't do that.
Although I've heard they're comfortable. I don't know. I'm not promoting them. I haven't bought them.
Oh, they're super comfortable. And if you go to meundies.com/talkmurder, you get 10. I'm just kidding. We're not on that.
And John does not own a pair of MeUndies.
I do have a couple pairs of Boxers.
Y'all bought the
which are like
Bombas
the women's
socks.
Boxers. Those are really nice.
Those Bombas socks were great until they fucking had a hole in them.
Yep.
And you know what? I don't want to buy socks and then you give another pair away. How about you just give me a discount and don't give the other pair away? What the fuck is that shit about? Like, I'm not trying to buy a $40 pair of socks so you can make another one and give it to somebody. Fuck that.
That's like, I tried to buy...
Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is that shit about?
I went to buy a t-shirt from my alma mater the other day, and it was going to cost me $50 after shipping for a t-shirt. A short sleeve t-shirt was going to cost me $50.
That's why you got to go to University of Phoenix, where they give them free because they need the promotions.
Well, I didn't end up buying that t-shirt, but I mean, like, what is going on in the world? Inflation is out of control.
It's fucking Putin and his fucking...
No, it was starting to go on the rise before this Ukraine thing.
All right. So
no one wants to hear that, though, but I'm going to say you heard it here first, or second or third.
32-year-old black man Tracy Edwards, handcuffs on his wrist. The police get out of their car. Hold on, man. Hold the fuck on. What is going on? Let me get those off. What the shit? My handcuff keys don't work. Do yours? Officer Rolf, does yours work? No, they don't work.
Guys, I just had deja vu.
Well, this must be a different manufacturer of handcuffs.
Or are they pink and fuzzy?
The handcuff keys did not fit, so they said, you know what? Let's go back to this guy's apartment and let's uncuff. And they were just going back to get the handcuff keys.
to the guy's apartment.
To Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment.
Right.
To get the handcuff keys.
That's all they wanted.
If they had the right handcuff keys, Jeffrey Dahmer would have kept killing for a few months.
At least,
yeah. I mean, because he was pretty ramped up at this point, as you're about to see from his apartment. But so I don't think he would have lasted a few more months. But he would have killed a lot more people if their handcuff keys would have fit. But since they didn't, they wanted to take Tracy Edwards back to the killer's apartment. Well, they didn't know he was a killer, to get the right handcuff keys. Isn't that fucking crazy?
I mean, don't you have someone that can pick a lock and just be like, okay, bye?
Jen, can you pick a lock? This isn't the TV shows. Damn it, I'm drunk.
I can't pick a lock.
Depends on what kind of lock it is.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Doorknobs, easy.
You're lying.
I want to know. I want to know more about your skills and why we didn't know about this earlier.
The push knobs, that's easy.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's just...
Yeah.
This is Tracy Edwards right here. Nicole, can you read this? This is from the Clarion Ledger, 4th of August, 1991.
A handcuffed Tracy Edwards used karate to flee his attacker. The mother of former Tupelo resident who escaped Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment and alerted police said the ordeal wreaked havoc on her son's life. Quote, he's been having some sleepless nights, Mary Edwards of Tupelo said of Tracy Edwards, 32. Now he's trying to get some rest to cope with it day by day. I'm sure it's hard for him to do that. She said the first time she spoke with her son after the encounter, he became so emotional that he couldn't speak.
Here's a little interesting thing. I was actually in karate, and I was really good.
I never took karate.
Jim, we're trying to do the story. You're getting us off track. I'm just kidding.
But you're not.
All right. This guy, Tracy Edwards, used karate. I went into this karate thing because this is really interesting. This guy, Tracy Edwards, which you're seeing, you can see on the screen. Let me put it back up. He's there on the right. Tracy Edwards, 140 pounds, 5'6", small guy, 140 pounds. Shit, I'm 100 pounds. I got 100 pounds on this guy.
But also 5'6". You don't have to think about just weight. Weight is just a number. So is height, I guess.
What? No, I'm saying he's a small dude.
He is. He's 5'6".
Well, if he didn't know karate, he would have probably ended up in a barrel like the other ones. I'm just saying,
Ooh.
Or in the fridge. This Tracy Edwards, because he knew karate, and I couldn't find the exact move he did, but I'm pretty sure it was a chop / uppercut, and then he runs out the apartment. He lives because his karate.
Did you get that combo from Street Fighter?
So
I got that
Edwards,
combo from your VR experience. I did a couple of those uppercuts.
Yeah, you got your ass whooped too.
I won.
Yeah, against the sparring partner. Try to go against one of those Russians. Tracy Edwards, originally from Tupelo, Mississippi. He goes back to Milwaukee because his dad and brother Jerome live there. This story takes place in Milwaukee. He knew Dahmer at the time. He lived 6 blocks away from him, knew him casually. The family says that this guy's a really good guy. In fact, I was reading a little more about his old job as a furniture mover back in Mississippi, and one of these papers actually interviewed the owner of the furniture store that he worked at and said, if if Tracy Edwards comes back here today, I would hire him on the spot. So, really stand-up guy, wasn't in drug. And the reason I'm saying this is because Jeffrey Dahmer is a notorious drunk and drug addict. So I didn't know that. Well, I'll talk about that. But I don't think.
Does he exclusively drink Budweiser?
Yep, there you go.
Exclusively?
Not exclusively, but that was found in his apartment. What I'm trying to say is Tracy, he knew Jeffrey Dahmer, but it wasn't like a homosexual thing or whatever. It was just casually, he met him somewhere and they just became friends. It wasn't a drug thing or whatever. Their family was very specific on that. Anyway, if you want to read this, Nicoise. This is from the Clarion Ledger.
I saw him, Dahmer, in the mall that night, and Tracy thought he was an all right guy. Tracy was going to Terry's house for a party, and he invited Dahmer along. But Terry wasn't home yet, so Dahmer said they could go to his house and wait. Tracy was looking at the man's aquarium, admiring it, and he had a beer in one hand and in his other hand, kind of behind him, Mary Edwards said. The man came up behind him and put the handcuffs on his hand behind him. He told me the guy tried to kill him and had a machete up to his heart and said, if you cooperate, nothing will happen to you. He told me he was thinking the whole time, Lord, how am I going to get out of here?
So, as I'll get to in a little bit, Jeffrey Dahmer had a huge aquarium, a lot of exotic animals. But that's not the point. The fact is, Tracy Edwards, the victim with the handcuffs, accepted a beer, probably a Budweiser, I'd imagine, and he started feeling a little, not tipsy, but a little druggy. He didn't
like roofie?
Not well, like roofie. He didn't realize, or he didn't know Jeffrey Dahmer for that long, but he definitely didn't think this guy would try to spike his beer. And that's the fear he had right there. And he didn't finish the beer, obviously. But before he could even react to the fact that there might be drugs in his beer, as you read there, Jeffrey Dahmer attacks him. Quote, the man came up behind and put the handcuffs on his hand. He told me the guy tried to kill him. Jeffrey Dahmer holds a machete up to his heart and says, quote, if you cooperate, nothing will happen to you. Tracy Edwards, in this situation, and I said he's 140 pounds. Jeffrey Dahmer has a weight advantage. Plus, Tracy's already got one handcuff on, which slows him down a little bit. Luckily, he remains calm. Now, Tracy Edwards did do an interview with Geraldo. Is it Geraldo?
Geraldo Rivera. He's actually from Marion, Massachusetts, which is near me.
So anyway, Tracy Edwards remains calm, and he remembered his karate lessons. When he was a kid taking karate, he wasn't as serious, but actually, this 31-year-old was very active in the karate scene. So I don't know what techniques he did, but quote, when he had a chance, Tracy Edwards struck at Dahmer using karate techniques to stun him, then fled the apartment, end quote, which is fucking badass. End of story.
You know what's sad to think about is how Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee both died on movie sets.
Now, a little bit more about Tracy before we go into the apartment. He did sue the city for $5 million. Why would he sue the city?
Because they didn't just like unlock him and made him go to to his assailant's house, and it was undue stress.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is really fucked up. That's a good reason to sue.
Undue stress.
That's a great reason to sue, but that is not the reason. In fact, two other officers, well, actually 3 officers knew about this, but 2 officers responded a month earlier on May 27th to the same apartment, which is apartment 213. These 2 officers were both fired, I guess forcefully resigned. One of the officers were on probation, but 2 officers responded to that building, the same apartment building, 213, 1 month prior, on May 27th, they failed to arrest Dahmer. There was a, quote, bleeding male in the alley, end quote. Dahmer told the police that this bleeding male, which was also a 14-year-old boy, was his, quote, adult lover. They left it alone. No further investigation.
Oh, boy.
The boy, which is one of Dahmer's 17 victims, which we'll talk about in another episode, a later episode, was Laotian. So there's a racial thing. You know Laotian?
No, I don't know Laotian.
Have you ever watched King of the Hill?
No. I mean, well, I've seen episodes here and there.
Laotian is like Vietnamese or something. I probably sound fucking stupid, but I know it's some Vietnamese. It's the country of in the island or something, Lao Island.
Laos?
Yeah, Laotian. That's
yeah.
I probably sound like a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but
no, I didn't. I wasn't following Laotian as the country Laos, but that makes much more sense.
I'm still not understanding.
All right, so there's other countries other than America
and Africa.
Laos is the country. It's above, just north of.
I know Laos is a country.
Thailand.
Okay, but what's Laotian?
That is, it's like instead of Vietnamese or
they're
Thai,
Laotian.
it's Laotian.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, like Haitian or whatever. It's just like how you say it.
I was thinking Layoca.
No, I didn't get it either.
And okay, Laotian. Okay, got it. I'm so sorry. That really sounded ignorant, but now I understand. I'm also extremely drunk. Now I feel so fucking dumb.
No, dude, I didn't fucking. I knew it was an island, but
I know
small
what
fucking
Laos
island.
is, but
it's
I was
not
thinking
an island.
But I was hearing Laotian as Layocan instead of like.
You mean Ocean?
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, I would feel pretty dumb too. Anyway, this boy.
No, I agree with you, Jen. I meant the same thing too. I thought you meant the same.
I was so confused.
I was like, Laotian.
Okay,
where is Laotian?
Let's get to the apartments and open the fucking refrigerator, shall we? But so anyway, the fact is that they left a 14-year-old bleeding male,
who was Laotian,
a boy, and obviously it was a racial thing, but he ends up in the apartment permanently, as you're going to see here in a little bit.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Somebody make a shirt that says, I don't like that. I'm telling you, that's a good catphrase.
Catchphrase.
Shit.
John is wasted.
This is the apartment right here. And Barb, if you're still out there, then you can comment on it. If you've, obviously you said you worked right down the street. Obviously this was a really big case because of what they found in the apartment. Well, and Jeffrey Dahmer.
The whole apartment is taped off for evidence. Dang.
The apartment's been torn down since then.
That's what Barb said, but I was looking at the picture. I didn't realize that they had the whole. I was looking at the building picture. I wasn't looking at the door.
So this is 924 North 25th Street, number 213. You see 213 right there? Mm-hmm. Now, the apartment has been torn down ever since. The police did take Tracy back to the apartment to get the handcuff key, as I said before, because that one that they had did not work.
Could you imagine? Excuse me, sir. Do you have the key to this handcuff? This man says that you have assaulted him and have tied him up.
That's only happened to me once. If you want to read this, Niquiz. Actually, before we go any further, I need to preface the book that we're reading tonight. It is called The Shrine of Jeffrey Dahmer by Brian Masters. So Nicole will be reading a bunch of quotes from there. It's a really good book. Brian Masters also wrote a book on Dennis Nielsen, which we did not read. I read another one for the Dennis Nielsen case. But if you're into true crime reads, you need to know that if you read a Brian Masters book, he's very intellectual. So he goes into a lot of, I would say, speculation about Dahmer's psychology and he kind of compares it to mythology. It's really weird. He talks about Dionysus a lot, and how they were. It's weird, but the dude is obviously extremely smart. It's a really good read. So anyway, The Shrine of Jeffrey Dahmer by Brian Masters. But if you're just looking for a quick chop him up and kill him shit, which I was, obviously, check out Ryan Green, because that motherfucker don't give a shit. Anyway, we read like 10 of his books. No,
We have read a bunch of his books.
He pumps them out.
Yeah, he pumps them out. Yep. Skeet. Anyway.
The living room was small but pleasantly furnished, with a large, comfortable armchair, a healthy pot plant on a tall pedestal, an oriental rug, blue curtains at the window, some fine pictures on the wall, and one framed picture of a naked male model. There was nothing seedy or squalid about the room. Rather, did it appear surprisingly neat and tidy for the neighborhood.
You know, like a serial killer can keep a plant alive, but I struggle. And I just want to note that Nicole and John.
Shit, I forgot to feed mine shit for like 2 weeks.
I had something sad happen and Nicole and John sent me a beautiful yellow orchid, and I followed the directions, it is still dead.
I didn't
An
send her
ice
shit.
cube.
Nicole,
I figured
sent
it would last
from the Perrys.
longer than regular flowers.
Alas, it has not.
I didn't send you shit. The police get to Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment. He says, yeah, I did, but we were just playing around, tinkering around, getting some nastiness around. But I got the key in my bedroom. The cops, the two police officers really didn't get a good vibe from Dahmer. So they kind of followed him into the bedroom to get that handcuff key. And laying beneath his bed was a large butcher knife. So immediately they're like, hold on a second. Don't reach for anything. We need to check this room. So they start checking. And you can see here in this photo, this is the layout. I'm going to show you the actual photos of his apartment, but this is kind of the layout right here. So they go in the entrance there. They're in the living room. Small apartment. Oh, a little bigger than the studio, I would say. He says, you know what? The keys in the bedroom. He goes into the bedroom. They follow him in there. Knife under the bed. And then you see that chest right there to the right.
Mm-hmm.
The top drawer is open. There's nude photos of men. Now, they noticed right away that Jeffrey Dahmer was homosexual because, as you'll see in the actual apartment photos, which I'm about to show, there are plenty of framed photos of naked men around the house. So, but they got a weird vibe, especially when they saw that knife and then the photos. They go through the photos. They see 72 photos, which I can't show on here, public YouTube. But the next episode, I'm going to show you a few of them that I found very interesting. And when they saw the photos, game over for Jeffrey Dahmer. Game over. They arrested him because these photos cannot be fake, and the photos were of his victims. As I said before, he had 17 victims, 72 photos. We're going to go over the photos here for the next episode, and you can see what I'm talking about. Also in their room, they found a lot of Budweiser beer cans. They found Paramount rum. And they found all of this, the photos and a lot more things like dildos and all kinds of sexual things, resting beside an innocent tube of acne lotion, a shaving kit, an Oral-B toothbrush, and a library card. They also found an ID that said Dr. Dahmer on it.
Well, that's fake.
And it's not fake, it's his dad's. He stole it from his dad. His dad is a PhD doctor. Some unclear items, which we're going to talk about in detail in the next episode. Hypodermic needle, contact lens cleaning kit, a 3 1/8 inch drill bit, and a 1 1/16 inch drill bit, claw hammer, handsaw. All of this stuff was lying next to a King James Version Bible. Audio cassettes, all biblical. There were audio cassettes on the Genesis flood and other things like that. There were also audio cassettes on numerology, divine triangles, and even Anthony LaVey, whatever. LaVey's.
Oh, the Satanist.
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 Did I say Satanist?
John was ready to say it. I think he was going with penis.
There was also
Do you guys ever play the penis game in public?
Adam LaVey, where you whip it out. And
I haven't played it in a long time.
Like in 8th grade is the last time I played it.
Yes.
Next to all this stuff was the Satanic Bible, but you got to understand that during this time in the 90s, and I know for a fact because I collect these fucking horror paperbacks.
But you were also 5 when this happened. Go on.
I collect all these horror paperbacks, and plus I've done an interview with Grady Hendrix,
Who started the whole paperback horror.
Satanic Panic.
Yeah. Anyway, during this time, it's not unusual to have a Satanic Bible. That was literally a thing. It's kind of like hippies, you know? It's not unusual to raw dog everywhere you go. Same shit.
I don't think that's the only defining thing of a hippie, but okay.
So, there was also an audio tape about learning Latin and an aquarium for exotic fish. Okay, you guys want to get into some shit. I am fucking going to get into some shit.
He looked further and realized with some shock that many of them were pictures of severed heads, dismembered limbs, decomposing torsos, and from the evidence of the decor in the pictures, it was clear they were not commercially produced fakes, but had actually been taken in that same bedroom. He lived surrounded by human debris, slept among it, ate his meals beside it. It's just a nightmare, let's put it that way, he said. It's been a nightmare for a long time, even before I was caught. For years now, obviously my mind has been filled with gruesome, horrible thoughts and ideas. A nightmare. It is tastefully decorated.
Looks empty to me.
All right, so here's the apartment. I'm going to show you bigger photos here in a second, but this is kind of the overlay. What do you notice about that top photo right there? Anything? I'll show you a better one here. Maybe you can see what I'm talking about. Something that sticks out. And not just a penis.
The lava lamp?
Very good, Nicole. There's a security camera up here. There's a security camera. Do you guys see that on top of the male that I think is a cowboy? You see him with his shirt off.
Yeah.
I do see a shirt off.
Inside the apartments, there are multiple locks, alarm systems, nude men on walls, porn videos, which includes, and I found one of them.
We're not going to have to watch that, are we?
The porn videos include Cocktails, Chippendales, Tall and Dark and Handsome, which I found there. Rock Hard, Hard Men 2, Hard Men 3. I wonder what
Hard Man.
I wonder where Hard Men 1 was. Is that like, why didn't he?
1 and 2 were not good.
Oh, John, look at John's face.
Jen's like, ooh.
Oh my god.
Laura, I am not a perv. What is your definition
She's
of a perv?
She's going with like a freak leak.
Laura, I am just a deprived of human touch. I'm sorry.
Looking through her fingers, fucking sticky fingers. That's a restaurant down here.
No, they all closed.
No, Sticky Fingers is still open, I think.
No, they closed. There's no one in Somerville. The one downtown closed, and so did the one in Mount Pleasant.
Well, that's where they filmed one of the Righteous Gemstones episodes.
They also used the place that's near the post office.
All right.
Here?
Yeah. And
yeah. Liberty Tap
Grill.
Room.
Yeah,
Yep.
whatever.
The porn videos include Cocktails.
That was a good movie.
I do love some cocktails.
Cocktails like
I actually do like cocktails.
Chippendales, Tall, Dark, and Handsome, which you see on the screen.
John.
Did you know that Vinny from
Hard? Hold on. Rock Hard, and they only found
the Dewey Cox story.
They only found Hard Men 2, Hard Men 3. They did not find the hard men number 1. They also found Peep Show and Tropical Heat Wave.
Ooh, I like the sound of Tropical Heat Wave.
I do have to say, have you seen the show Minx on HBO? It's about like a woman who's trying to make a feminist magazine, but it ends up being like a Playgirl type thing.
No.
Oh, it's fun.
I should watch it.
Yeah.
Have you been watching Bridgerton?
No, I haven't seen the first season.
You would like it.
No, I don't. I just want to know what you mean by perv. That's all I want to know what you mean by perv, Laura. I'm not upset. I just want to know what you mean.
She'll be bringing that shit up.
Everyone is on the same page.
Not me. Clearly, I am not on the same page.
She'll be bringing that shit up for weeks, man. You need to tell her right now.
Yeah, I ruminate about everything if you haven't known.
All right, so this is a refrigerator. Should have made those bigger, but
That is a freezer chest.
Yeah.
yeah, freezer.
That's like what you put your hunt in.
And bodies.
So in this fridge, now during this time of his arrest, he was fully escalated. He was basically a spree killer at this point. He has reached his full escalation. You drank 2 beers? In the refrigerator was a severed head of a black man in a cardboard box. That was on the bottom shelf, facing upward. And I'll show you the actual severed head. And he actually had his wiener severed too.
Ooh.
And his hands. But anyway, you'll see his face on the next episode. And it's looking up like...
Oh.
It's kind of creepy. Anyway, the
hands and wiener? And face?
Police, they're in Dahmer's apartment at this point, and he says, quote, "For what I did, I should be dead," because what they were starting to find in his apartment. This is more of the photos they took.
Hazmat suits.
You see, that is a barrel.
That is a barrel.
Usually, barrels contain bodies.
Uh-huh.
On the floor, they found 4 boxes of muriatic acid. In the fridge, as I said, a man's head. In the freezer, 3 plastic bags. 2 of the plastic bags contains a heart. 1 contains some odds and ends, mostly muscle tissue. There was a bicep there too. And we'll talk about in the future episode, the bicep is one of the best meats to cook. He really liked cooking the bicep.
Did he like the fatty bicep? I feel like if I was a cut of meat, I would be a prime rib because there's like a lot of fat on it. Just saying.
Who wants to eat Jen? I'd eat you.
Thank
Would you want to go out like that? I would eat you if you wanted.
I mean,
if you're like, dude, I really want you to eat me when I die, I would do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, like, I don't want to be eaten, but if
and then I'll poop you out. Because obviously, because it's poop.
Right. But like, if we had to be eaten by people, like, if you're a willing participant, I guess I would accept that. Like, I would rather like someone I know and care about eat me than a stranger.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say I wouldn't eat you, Jen, because I wouldn't even
I appreciate that kind of more.
In a mode of survival, I wouldn't even eat my own dogs. You know what I mean?
Another wall was a floor-standing freezer in which were found 3 more human heads in a plastic bag containing a human torso. Stuck to the bottom of this freezer was another plastic bag, the contents of which appeared to include flesh and various human internal organs. Dahmer subsequently revealed that it had been there for several weeks because he had been unable to wrench it away from the ice.
This is next to the bed.
Next to the bed was a metal filing cabinet. When this was opened, it revealed in the top drawer 3 human skulls lying on a black towel. The police officers noted that they had been painted green with black flecks, but the medical examiner reported that they were painted and glazed to a dark gray marble-like texture.
So very macabre stuff. In fact, there's a question here that I want you to think about. Is Jeffrey Dahmer insane? when he was arrested and convicted, as we'll talk about in another episode, he was pronounced legally sane. However, what you're seeing here with the skulls and everything else is similar to Ed Gein, which he was found insane for doing things a lot less gross than this with the skulls and keeping the human body parts and stuff like that. But he was found insane. Jeffrey Dahmer was found sane. So anyway, the book that about Brian Masters that I was reading talks a lot about the sanity defense. Like, is he fucking insane or not? Here's some more photos right here. This is inside the apartment. This is the actual evidence photos. This is what was in his fridge. This is his apartment and the couch. You see he has a Persian rug there. An aquatic tank,
aquarium
with exotic fish in there, and a bunch of Budweisers and shit. And look, the cans kind of look the same.
Except we had to get the tall boys.
I guess my question would be, when you're talking about the insane versus sane defense, well, do you know? And this is a serious question. If you don't know the answer, that's fine. But what type of scales do they use to give a verdict of sane versus insane? Do they use an intelligence scale? Do they use like that same similar scale to what we took about the psychopathy?
No, they use basically they say, hey, did he know what he was doing or not? There was a 2-year period where Jeffrey Dahmer stopped killing. And this went both ways, as we'll talk about in our episode, with the defense and the prosecution. The 2 years of stop killing for the prosecution means, hey, he knows what he's doing is wrong. He stopped for a reason. However, for the defense, they argued, hey, he stopped killing for 2 years because he was in this morality world. He was in this morality world of good versus evil and the devil versus Christ type of things. And he's a Lutheran, and should he be doing this? And he was conflicted, and finally the devil gave way. So it's those types of things. Mostly, does he know what he's doing? And I think that's the scale for every insanity plea, is does this man know what he's doing at the time? But that doesn't always work. Richard Trenton Chase, the vampire of Sacramento, had no idea what he was doing, but he was still found sane, right?
Right.
But is mostly, does this person know at the time what he is doing when he is killing? If he does, then he knows right and wrong. If he knows that killing is bad and he shouldn't be doing it, even if the impulse is so great, he's still found sane because he knows what he's doing.
Well, I feel like without an IQ test,
Jeffrey Dahmer's IQ is 117.
Well, that's above average. But I mean, no, I'm asking, like, what was Ed Gein's IQ? Do you know? We're not doing Ed Gein.
I mean, IQ doesn't matter. I mean, Ed Gein was different because his was in the 1950s, and no one's ever seen anything like that. I mean, it was something brand new. No one's ever strung up a human body and dressed it out like a deer. So they were just like, this dude's fucking insane.
But just because no one has ever seen it before, I'm just playing devil advocate. Just because no one has ever seen it before doesn't mean that he doesn't know what he's doing. He could have been incredibly smart and known that what he was doing. Just because you don't have examples to precede you doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing.
Well, if you don't know what, Jeffrey Dahmer knew what he was doing.
Right.
And he openly admitted everything. In fact, the reason we know he has 17 victims is because he's the one that tried to desperately help the police to map out each of the victims, because he was going through the spiritual war as well. He's a Christian. He knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows being for Christian life, okay, being homosexual is wrong, especially in that time for a Christian. He knows this stuff is wrong, so he is desperately trying to make things at least a little better by helping the police. That's the only reason they knew they had 17 victims. Because all the victims that were found in this apartment, there were only 11. Not whole. There were pieces, but those pieces put together made 11 individuals. But he killed 17, so he actually mapped out people that he stored elsewhere. So anyway. But yeah, this is so this is the apartment. You can see the man. That dude's fucking ripped.
Yeah.
God damn.
I don't think I would ever want anyone that ripped.
This apartment,
It just made me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, but also like there's nothing to love. Like, I don't know.
this
Too
apartment,
much.
this apartment was $300 a month at the time. This is 1991.
Must be nice.
You can't afford $300 a month for your apartment? What
No,
are you
I
living
can
in?
afford $300 a month. But I mean, like apartments now, he lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. They're like at least $1,500 here. Not even talking about like New York or LA or Boston or anywhere like that.
All right, so the neighbors did notice a bunch of smells coming. He actually told the neighbors that his exotic fish had died, and that's where the smells are coming from. They didn't really buy it, but they figured out the smells were coming from elsewhere. This is the kitchen right here. So he did cook a lot of his victims. Obviously, he's Jeffrey Dahmer. Once his freezer, that freezer you're seeing right there on the right side of the screen, that freezer did break at one point. I believe he did get it fixed, but there were many complaints when it did break because of the meat spoiled.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would imagine that smells worse than like chicken.
This is the barrel.
So wait, but I have a question. So his freezer broke for a bit. Like, what did he just left the face in there? Like, what?
Yeah, you just left it in there and it spoiled.
But he didn't get it fixed. He did get it fixed. Or
I
he didn't?
said he got it goddamn fixed.
He got
Jen.
it fixed.
Shit.
So what happened when the person came to fix it? Did he remove all of the meat and like get rid of it? Like what? Like what happened?
I'm sure he fixed it himself, Jen.
Okay. I was just asking.
I fixed that fridge in there by myself because guess what? I'm an MAN. And I know you don't understand that.
Yeah, and you're very handled
And
at
if-
YOUTUBE
if
and
I
watching
wanted to-
things, but that wasn't available in the 90s.
So if I wanted, let's say, SANDWICH, you could take care of that. Or if I wanted you to VACUEM,
UUEM.
There's no E.
Nope, it's VACUUM. Vacuum. You have a robot to do that.
or if I wanted to,
Correct.
for you to SUCKMY.
Just stop it right there.
You wouldn't be calling me for that because you have a wife that you signed a contractual agreement with. But my question is, if he's gonna have that freezer fixed, like he would fix it himself, or like you would have to call someone for that. What would you do with the stuff inside of it?
And to answer that, I want to say nothing about that. In this barrel right here, you're seeing there were 2 human skeletons. They
Whole
also found
bodies.
They also found a pair of severed hands, which you'll see in the next episode. 2 severed and preserved penises.
Preserved.
Yeah, kind of like the Ed Gein. Remember, you read the one where he would sprinkle stuff on them to preserve them. You just read that. Preserve them.
Yeah.
I mean, how else would you preserve a penis? You
Put it in plaster and make it a thing that you.
They found a mummified scalp, and in this 57-gallon drum, they discovered some dismembered torsos.
Pickled peckers.
Pickled peckers.
Peter picked a peck of peppers.
I'm looking for a title
Peter
for this
picked
episode.
Peter picked a peck of pickled.
Okay, Jen, you're done. You're cut off.
I haven't drank anything for 15
Here's some
to
more.
20 minutes.
Oh, damn, look at that fucking phone. I want one of those. That's fucking cool.
Just look at Goodwill. I'm sure there's something there.
See that guy up there? Here's a photo of blood.
On the pillow.
Here's some skulls. Here's some skulls. And honestly, that's the extent of what I can show you guys on YouTube. And
But
then
are those like legit skulls? They look very cleaned off. They almost look like fake skulls, but those are legitimate.
yeah, so Jeffrey Dahmer would, and this is going back to the fiddlesticks on this little doll I got here. Jeffrey Dahmer learned at a very young age to bleach bones, and that's what they are. They're bleached right there. You see that one has a crack on the head?
And then one of them has 4 holes in it.
Yeah. So, honestly, that's what's in Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment. Next episode, I'm going to show you the 72 Poloroids that were found. I can't show them here on YouTube, but for you Tacos Primos, we're going to cover that. And hopefully, I don't know, Jen, do you need a nap? Or are you good to go on this one?
She's just going to take some goldfish.
And pee.
All right. So, we're going to be right back for you guys. For your Tacos Primos, we'll do a new episode. But if you're out there on YouTube public and you watch this and got through it somehow, fuck, man, I don't know. Thank you so much. And if you want to watch the next episode, talkmore.com/join or become a Tacos Primo to get the live episode of that. At Taco Nacho, right, the $5 tier gets the pre-recorded version or whatever. And if you want to win this lovely Jeffrey Dahmer doll, here.
Awfully cute.
Mm-hmm.
And further stuff, which I have a really cool next prize coming up too. It's anyone that is a supporter of us, any tier. And we'll next week we'll get this away next week, I promise. But we got to figure out how the fuck we're going to do that first. But anyway, go join that, talkmore.com/join. And if you're a Supremo, you guys right here, we're going to be back in like 10 minutes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was what was in Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment and fridge. And until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.